Alrighty, so I'm gonna go straight into it. I'm gonna share my screen. Cool. Please, I won't be, once I present, I won't be able to see anything, so please let me know if anything screws up. Yeah. So, welcome everyone to the Virtual Q&A. Really exciting time for us in AIESEC in Australia, as I'm sure it is for the candidates as well. Give me 1 second. Cool. So this is what the agenda looks like for today. Oh, sorry. I'm your host, Ivan, MCPPTMOD. I'm sure most of you know me. Oh no. Sorry, give me 1 second. Okay, cool. So welcome to our two candidates, Gina, Wigra. Do you both want to quickly introduce yourselves? A quick introduction for all the LCPs in the network.
Okay, want me to start?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Hi, my name is Jiang Chan. So my English name is Gina. I'm from AIESEC, South Korea, who used to be 1718 local committee president in Hoofs. So yes, I'm here to apply to AIESEC Australia, and thanks for giving me a chance to expand my insights to the world. Thank you.
Cool, cool. Yes, you can start.
Hello? Can you hear me? Yeah?
Your microphone is a bit.
Oh, really? How about this? You can hear me?
We can hear you.
What? You can hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Okay, so hello everyone. AIESEC Australia Network. My name is Wikira. You can call me simply Wikira or Wiki. So I'm currently MCPP Partnership Development AIESEC Indonesia, of the LCP of AIESEC Indonesia, and also the Vice President ICX, just handle for IGT and also IGV, and also manager of talent management and also the access participant to finance. So here I am. I'm applying for MCPP Partnership Development AIESEC Australia. So nice to meet you all.
Cool, amazing. Thank you, Wiki. So can the LCPs quickly introduce themselves as well? Anyone can start, please. Who's he that we can tag? All right.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes. MP, start and tag.
Yeah, my name is MP, LCP of AIESEC in ANU. In case you didn't know, ANU stands for Australian National University. So, yeah, I'm tagging Lynn.
Thanks, MP. Hi, my name is Lynn. I'm from UWA. I'm the LCP. UWA is in Perth and stands for University of Western Australia. I tag Ashley.
Hi guys, my name is Ashley. I'm the LCP for AIESEC in Curtin, also in WA Perth. Tag Lama, Natasha.
Hi guys, my Zoom thing says Natasha, but everyone calls Lama. I'm the LCP of AIESEC in RMIT, which stands for Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology, which is in Melbourne, and I tag Tom.
Hey guys, I'm Tom, LCP from AIESEC in Korea, which is in Sydney. I'll tag Scott.
Wait, did you tag me?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Hi, I'm Scott. I'm the LCP of UNSW. It stands for University of New South Wales, and we're based in Sydney. Nice to see you guys here again. And I will go to Jose.
Hi, hello, my name is Jose. I'm LCP of AIESEC in Melbourne, so that's AIESEC in Melbourne University. It's in the state of Victoria. Yep. So is there anyone left? I tag Jordan.
Because for us, like we know everything, and we're like everything.
Hi, my name's Jordan Wallace. I'm the president of AIESEC in QUT, Queensland University of Technology, and I tag Zarin.
Already the IC session, like the IC session is quite.
Hey guys, I'm Zarin, and I'm LCP of AIESEC in UT, which stands for University of Queensland. I think
like biggest open generation.
Cool. So we have one more person. Quickly.
Yeah, hello guys. So I'm Catherine. I'm MCVP for National Development.
Okay, cool, amazing. So we're going to move on to the next part. So this is the agenda for today. You can see that we're on a very, very tight schedule, already a bit behind time. So this is the opening. That we're going to go into the general block of questions in just a bit. Then Wee will present his strategy or functional presentation, followed by Gina, and then we'll go straight into the strategy block of questions and also have the closing for the last bit. So how this is going to work in the next block is that for each question that pops up, you'll have 1 minute to think and 2 minutes to answer rotation style. So I'll go into an example. So for example, here you can see for Gina, she has the border around her picture. So what this means is that both candidates will answer this question. They'll have 1 minute to think, and then Gina will have 2 minutes to answer. Straight after Gina answers, Wiggy will have 2 minutes to answer as well. So in this next example, for example, they'll have again 1 minute to think for this question. Wiggy will then have 2 minutes to answer, or less if he needs, and then Gina will also answer straight after that for 2 minutes as well. So that's what it's going to look like for the format. If there's a question where both of them have different ones, this is what it's going to look like. So for what this means is, Wiggy, your question will be, why is Pepsi bad for you? Gina, your question will be, why is Pepsi Max even worse? So same style, 1 minute to think. Wiggy will then answer his question first for 2 minutes, and then Gina will answer her question then for the next 2 minutes as well. And again, flip side example. So same example, 1 minute to think, but in this case, Gina will answer her question first for 2 minutes, and then Wiggy will answer his question next for 2 minutes as well. So any questions from either like LCPs or the candidates themselves? No questions?
Nope, none. Wave.
Cool. Candidates both okay with how it'll go? Okay, I can't see anything, so I'm going to take that as a yes. So just to make sure, when you're answering, after 1 minute passes, I'll knock 3 times. So like that. I don't know if that's loud enough. I'll try to knock as loud as I can, but that will be what happens after 1 minute of your answering time has finished. And then by 2 minutes, I will just cut you off and the next person will start answering their question. So that's just for clarification as well. So any questions? Can I just not see? No questions. Okay, so no questions, then we'll go straight into it. So this is the general block. You'll have 1 minute to think for the first question. And the first question is, why choose AIESEC in Australia over any other entity? So you have 1 minute to think and Gina will answer first.
And then the other thing is help your materials to help. So have a edge in your flyers that has all the information.
All right, 1 minute is up, Gina. You have 2 minutes to answer. Hello?
Okay, I will start. Yeah, I will start. Can you hear me?
Yeah, 2 minutes to answer.
Can you all hear me? Okay, so my answer is like why I chose Isaac Australia rather than other country is first is because of the people who are learning for Isaac Australia now. Because once I had the opportunity, I went to the PRS and in there I've been inspired a lot with the LCP country right now, which was like in one session, they shared a lot of stories about them, how they think about Isaac Australia and how they see their how already Isaac Australia and Australian. They says they think they are in bubble lab, even they can do more. So I think this is important because self-awareness is where they really start to grow and develop. So in that times, I see their passion from that, and I am a person who get really passionate and professional when I'm working with the people who has same purpose and the same dream and yeah, same passions. And when I go to the next, I kind of see similarities and dissimilarities between Australia and Korea because I think Australia and Korea is have comments in the aspects of their having privileges, but in Korea we are privileged in terms of innovative society community and society technologies things stuff and like that, but we never satisfy what we are right now because we are not happy about what current world going around us. But Australia is once they ranked happiest country in developed country, but this says you guys are not motivated, you don't have enough environment to motivate you guys self. So in terms of that, like with converge the perspective, I can
Sorry, Gina,
really
2
say
minutes is
something
up.
new.
Sorry. Wiki, you have 2 minutes to answer now.
All right. Thank you very much for the question. So why do I choose Isaac in Australia over the other country? So since very the beginning, when I was in high school back then, I was like questioning a lot with my friends because a lot of people like they are going to Australia after they graduate. They have a lot of plans to go to Australia for study and stuff. And back then, I was like only searching on website and then what is happening in Australia and what was happening in terms of education and culture and stuff like that. So right now, after I study in university, and I feels like I really want to go to Australia, but there is no chance at all for me because like, in terms of financial and also why do I need to go to Australia? Because I just don't want to go to Australia for travel and stuff. So my personal reason is that I feel sick, because Indonesia and also Australia we are the neighbor, and a lot of people. I have a lot of friends that went to Australia, and then I feels like why and Australian people are very nice here in Indonesians, and even I have partner and then the CEOs from Australia, and then we talk a lot, and then we had like make a good friends with him as well. But in terms of professional, is that I was questioning like what is happening in Australia in terms of AIESEC things because what I saw is that Australia is one of the developed country, but at the same time in terms of like several conditions that Australia has not like really significantly in terms of the number. In terms of professional, why I want to choose Australia over another activist. But yeah, I still have time. Because right now AIESEC is one of platform also for me and giving a chance for me to go to Australia. So I choose this because previously because I want to stop my journey in AIESEC, but then I have a chance to go to Australia because Jesse also coming to Indonesia and I talk a lot with Jesse. And I get inspired by Jesse and I feel like I want to
is up.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Cool. So second question is this: how do you foresee LCPs as the bridge of the nation? So you'll have 1 minute to think, and then Wiki will start with his answer.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The next section we're going to have report on and the Wednesday morning. Half an hour. Stop the phone and have the take
Cool. 1 minute is up. Wiki, you have 2 minutes to answer.
Okay, thank you very much for the questions. So, how do I foresee LCP as the grades of the nation? So later on, when we're going to start as the MC, before we start the MC term, even better, like we already for MC level, we already put a lot of expectation in some of personal things and also professional, in sort of like plan, in sort of like execution and also strategy level. So LCP is one of part of national level because I think LCP is one of the person like super important in LC level because they are the one who actually top management of the LC and that can implement the strategy that national and also in Malaysia have. So before we start the term, for sure, what we can do is that me as a person put LCP as one of the person that important to making the plan and also strategy and also the execution, even the personal development plan for the LCP. So we make a transparency to the LCP. Thank you.
Cool. Gina, you have 2 minutes to answer.
Okay. I think LCP is head of nation and head of breeds. The first reason is LCP is in charge of downscaling their big pictures to all members, which makes able to all members understand what is the real purpose and what is the dream of the we want to make through AIESEC. So in the part, they should understand and they should manage how they are agreeing with their values and the process and the overall stuff, but at the same time they should listen to members. How do you think and deliver the how is not going well in the members level, so they deliver that ideas to the MC level, so get the feedback, and they are the one actually who manage as their local levels to work as we are expected and work as we want. So at same time, even not just listening and managing and delivering, they should make their own voice in decision as MP. I mean national plenary, because they actually reading the whole countries. Even MCs doing their job well, if LCP is not working in the right way and they don't have enough motivation to do work, all the plan is not going well. So I think in terms of that, LCP is the most important part in the nation, actually who leading and who manage the whole situation and the reality. Thank you.
Cool, thank you. The next question, how would you describe the relationship between the LCPs and MC? What role do you believe the NLT plays in AIESEC in Australia? So you have 1 minute to think, starting from now. Gina will answer first.
Can I ask for the question? This is the relationship between us. It's question for the strategy for the next year, or this is question for the current condition?
Sorry?
So this question is for current condition that LCP and also MC has, or what will be the strategy for us as MC level to make relationship between LCP and also MC?
I think it's the question.
Just asking the current condition.
Yeah, the first part of the question is more like, what would the ideal relationship look like between LCPs and MC?
Oh, all right, the ideal relationship.
Yeah, so I'll put 30 seconds more and then Gina can start. Time is up, so Gina, you have 2 minutes to answer starting now.
Thank you. I think LCP and the MC's relationship is they are on same destiny and they are on same boat. As I mentioned before, even like MCS is working well, like then LCP is not working their like a right job. It does their MCS plan is not working and at all, but vice versa. Like if LCP is working well, the MC is not delivering enough of what we should go to the global directions. It's not working and it's not aligning the purpose of the global AIESEC. So in terms of that, they should work as co-worker as the who like who's on the same boat. So MCs like basically they works as a supporting body as string bodies for LCPs and the other LCs, but at the same time, they are able to give feedback and advise what is the purposeful destination. But at the same time, but so they work as advisor, but LCP also should be the one not just following the MC's destination or direction. They should make like a customized and like customize their like the strategy as their LC's style and make it work as much as they strengthen their LC's capacity and possibility. So, so to sum up, I think they are co-workers. At the same time, they are on the same boat, but they could be, positive. They're positive inspector. Thank you.
Cool. Wiki, you have 2 minutes to answer.
All right, thank you very much for the question. So, how would be the ideal relationship between LCPs and also MCs? And then what I believe NLP plays in AIESEC in Australia. What I believe LCP is one of the national body where LCPs really play a role that much. I can say in the country rather than MC. Why? I can say like that. So because LCP is the one who actually taking care of the local level, and then they are really exactly know the physical things like what is happening, the development in terms of members and everything. So what will be the relationship between LC and also MC for the next year, or maybe ideally, is that MCP is the one who really exactly implement the team standard, because team standard is super important for the members for AIESEC in terms of like guidance, in terms of like in terms of education, in terms of knowledge, because in team standard as well. Because in AIESEC Australia, as I know, is that we have president meeting twice a year. So in once when we do first meeting with the president, with the LCP, what we can do is that we can present for the MC planning. So MC planning we can send to the LCPs. At the same time, it's one of the transparency between MC and the LCPs. But LCPs also one of the people that can criticize the MC planning. So at the same time, so after that, the output that we create is actually together, not only from the MCs, but also from the LCPs, which is the representative from the local level. So we create the output, and also the plan is together with the MC and also the LCPs, and we can implement it together. So yes, but MCP is the one who actually play a big role for taking care of the LCPs, for like one-on-one meeting, like weekly meeting. We also present monthly plans and also quarterly review what is happening, do we achieve or not.
2 minutes is up. Thank you, Wiki.
Like that, thank you.
Cool. So next question, 1 minute to think. How do you think AIESEC in Australia is different from AIESEC in your entity? So 1 minute to think. Wiki will start. Cool. 1 minute is up. Just before you start answering, Wiggy, there was a comment from one of our LCPs. They said, "I'm sorry to interrupt, but could you please speak a little slower? We find it quite hard to catch everything you are saying." Thanks. So that was just a comment from one of our LCPs. So you'll have 2 minutes.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you'll have 2 minutes to answer now.
Okay. So what's the difference between AIESEC Australia and also AIESEC in my country? In terms of the country, AIESEC Indonesia is developing country and Australia is developed country. And Australia have koala, Indonesia don't have koala. And instead of AIESEC things in AIESEC Australia and also AIESEC Indonesia, AIESEC Indonesia we really put IGP is one of the champion, but champion number. But OGV is one of the champion in terms of IGP. But for AIESEC Australia, you put OGV and also IGP is one of the champion product that you have. And in terms of partners, in Indonesia, we have a lot of CSR partners that they want to give to us, which is IGV is super relevant for AIESEC Indonesia that we can implement. And for AIESEC Australia, your partners is super, I mean, I can say like you're already mature enough, it's all partners. So OGV and also IGP is one of the champion product for us that we can sell to the partners. But IGP is like really sellable for parts development, especially that we can sell to the company. In terms of members, for AIESEC in Australia, you have members like really straight, and also you really like you really criticize a lot and really to the point. But in AIESEC in Indonesia, more into like you need to explain in the first beginning, like in the beginning, like why, like explaining why before we execute this something. So I think that's really big difference.
Cool. Thank you. Gina, you have 2 minutes to answer.
Okay, thank you. So first, what is different from AIESEC Korea and AIESEC Australia is first AIESEC Korea has IZV, with OGV which AIESEC Australia decided have not because it doesn't make any money at all. It's kind of a minus, and also in AIESEC Korea we have like a big national conference. We don't have a regional conference because this is because we don't have a larger market expansion rather than you guys. Because in AIESEC Australia, you guys work by the regional phases rather than city basis. But in Korea, we have like 10 LCs in one city. So in that aspect, I think market expansion, like AIESEC Australia, is a larger market expansions, but on the other hand, in AIESEC Korea, I think we have a more stronger school support system, which means we can get promotions to the university press and financial support from the school, and have like a learning event rather than have like some kind of a motivational conferences rather than like regional conferences. But I think one thing really different is like structures, because now AIESEC Australia has tend to more focused on like marketing and big focus on OCV. So you guys has like a one TM leaders usually and FAR for one leader, but we have like all app members and all TM members and have tendency to focus rather on team bonding, because we believe team bonding brings a lot of our members together in one goal. But in AIESEC Australia, the culture is you believe the one goal and one purpose brings people together and make it come true. So
Thank you. 2 minutes is up. So the next question is, what are key learnings that you've had in your experience so far, and how will they assist you during your MCVP term here? So you have 1 minute to think. Gina will then start. One minute is up. So Gina, you have 2 minutes to answer.
Thank you. My biggest key learnings through the for 2 years in AIESEC Korea is one is peace and fulfillment of humankind potential is in your everyday life, and the second is it's always not about your past, it's always about your present and the future. And how I got these ideas is like in my first year as I remember what I remember I did in AIESEC was just post flyers and standing in the open bus. So I didn't realize anything. Even I became in LCP, I was not deeply agree with the PNF and what is the peace around me. But like once there's a lot of a lot of people who actually who inspires me. But once that's like you can it is your moment and what it is your moment and but if you if you just stressed out and don't agree what you are doing right now, it's useless. It's your ear. So that is the word that changes my ear, and why I try to be always care in small things, and I really believe what I see the small steps and the small works makes different a lot in the end. And the second, as I said, is always the future and the present is that my LCs started as one of the weakest LC in AIESEC Korea because we didn't have any didn't have enough account in my bank in account, and there's any transition because we kind of have a missed pipeline between the transition. But what we believe is what we are doing right now will be the basis of the legend for AIESEC hoops. So we really cares every small thing, even if it's just a.
Thank you. You have 2 minutes to answer.
Okay, so when I was major talent management, I was the one who actually interviewed people. Back then, my LSC is not that major and not that big. So when I was manager at TM, I was the one who actually interviewed for engagement with AIESEC, EWA. I interviewed for Access Participant Body as well. But at that moment, I was like, no idea at all. Like in terms of knowledge, I didn't have any experience in interview people, but I learned a lot at that moment. And the second one, when I was a VP ICX, I was the one who actually did sales by myself because my mentor back then was like focusing on university. And also, but luckily, I'm helped by the vice president for sales. So the one who actually helped me for sales and everything. But I was the one who actually finding partners and then open for IGP in my entity. And I was the one who actually doing matching as well. And when I was at LCP, I was get all my LC was almost disbanded because of the term 15 and 16. But then I was the one who actually, and also with my ED team, push the experience a lot. So what I learned, and then what I can also assist for my term methodology by electric and CDP in Australia is that I feels like my experience in terms of what I want to give, for AIESEC and also for the what is actually aligned. So that's why I also still in second and why what I want to continue my journey in terms of leadership. When I was in national level, also when I was in LCP, I learned a lot about it. And in terms of confidence, right now currently I'm CDP partnership development. I learned a lot like how facing the partners and everything. So that's why I feels like that's also the experience that I want, that I also want to implement to AIESEC in Australia if I get elected. So yeah, I think so.
Cool. Thank you. Amazing. So this will be the last question for the general block. What's the biggest difference between your country's youth and Australian youth? So you have 1 minute to think, 2 minutes to answer, starting with you after. One minute is up. So Wiki, you have 2 minutes to answer.
Okay. What I can say, first one in terms of the mindset, Indonesia, most of Indonesia, their mindset is not, I can say, they're not really think about the long-term plan, what they want to achieve, and what they want to do for the next like 10 or like 20 years from now. But Australian people are more into like I know what I want to do, and like I'm sorry, even you stay in your country, still, I mean, you still can feel, you still, if you work in your country, you still like it's still okay. But in my country, like people feel things like their mindset, like when once they work in Indonesia, they feels like it's their comfort zone and stuff. But at the same time, if we think deeper about it, it's actually not enough. So that's the first one, and then also the second one in terms of ambition. AIESEC Indonesia, if you know, like right now in terms of number, for example, you know that AIESEC Indonesia is always in global. I mean, in global like poster, like in terms of numbers and everything. But honestly, in terms of the ambition, in AIESEC Indonesia, we're like the one who actually scared in terms of doing something, you know. So that's why the national level and also the LCPs, we are the one who actually push the youth and also the our members to do something, and then also to achieve something, to make a plans, and then unity and blah blah. So MC and also LCPs who actually put this on it, so we can create something. But Australian people are the more people who actually initiative and also make an idea, like you really initiative in terms of making idea plans, and also you guys like really strict, and also you guys really like really critique in terms of something. If you think like it's not good, you will like rise up and then you can just say it, rather than like you give it up.
2 minutes is up. Thank you. Gina, you have 2 minutes to answer.
Thank you. I think it is a kind of the same answers that I answered why it is Australia. I think the biggest differences between Australia and Korea is the privileged aspect. As I mentioned, like we kind of like a Korean kind of settled down to promise the job and the promise the future rather than challenge, because the outside world is too hard for them. Like already there lots of conventions that they can break as they believe, so that's why they don't challenge. But on the other hand, the Australian youth has like they are also like quite high educated like a Korean society, but I think they don't have enough motivational environment, because it's kind of already you guys kind of already live in happy place and really didn't have a chance to realize what is the world issue and what you can do actually for the world. So in the aspect we are different, but I think the common is between two is if they are provided enough challenges and decide to challenge more to the more experiences what they want to more to like eager to achieve in like a motivational space, I think they both can grow more and they can contribute the world in more better way and effective way. Thank you.
Cool, amazing. So thank you both for answering the general block, I believe. Yeah, that was the last question for the general block. So what we're going to move into is the strategy presentation. So each candidate will have 5 minutes to present their strategy presentation. How this will work is Wiggy will go first, Gina will go second, and similar to the question, so I'll knock once at 3 minutes, like that, and then I'll knock again at 4 minutes, and then at 5 minutes I will just cut you both off. Yeah, so for this section, Wiggy, you can feel free to share your Jose, I think the knock is a bit soft because of background noise.
So maybe you can say stop.
Okay, so maybe I'll just okay, the background noise is gone. Okay, let's try the knock for a bit. So if Gina or Wiggy, you guys can't hear my knocks properly, please just let me know so I can adjust or we can do something else. But yeah, so in this section, Wiggy, you can, like both candidates, you can feel free to share your screen. So I'll stop sharing my screen for now. And you, like Wiggy, you can feel free to share your screen first and then you can feel free to start and I'll time the 5 minutes when you start.
All right, so should I start? Oh,
yeah.
I still have 1 minute.
You can start now whenever, and once you start, I'll time the 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to start now. All right, so hi, Australian Network. So if I like to test MCP, what I'm gonna do is that the first one for sure standardization for the tools, because as I know, there's no like tools that we already standardized for the MC in Australia. Because it will be great if we standardize all of the tools that we have right now for the LCs, also the MCs. But what I mean standardize is that not like the fixed tools that we have, like for example, like proposal. Do you see? Do you see? I don't want to see my presentation.
We can see it.
Hello. Hi. Oh, okay. Then, yeah, we'll. So I'm going. All right. So I'm going to standardize in terms of the tools that we have. That is not like the fixed tools that we have. Means like we make it and then you have to implement it. But we will create one of the important things. Like for example, in terms of proposal, like we supposed to tell what is like in the first page, second, and also the third pages, we will tell like about what is AIESEC, and then AIESEC exists in the world, and then AIESEC exists also in Australia. And then the next pages we will share. It's the pages that we can customize based on what the company needs, for example, or based on the conversation that we have with the partners from the previous meeting, for example, on the last meeting. And after that, we will create the SOP, this is one also, I think, one of the important things where, the internal policy, where this is one of the important things to communicate with the LCs, between LCs and also MCs. For example, like one LCs also have partner, but another LC has also good partner, the same partner, but they don't have any connection. So I'm going to make a policy so the another LC can like connect and also can contact the another LC to what is happening there, what kind of partnership that you guys doing, and then how is it going, and then stuff like that. So so there is actually why I make this, so there is no miscommunication at all. And also SOP, standard operational procedure for the MC, also for the LCs, for all of the cells, for the sales level. and in terms of like how many percentage they will give from national also to the LCs, and then how we can give. For example, like we as a BD people we do sales, and then the IGT people will do delivery, for example. And also MOU is one of the customized things, but there will be one of the point that we can actually standardize with the LCs as well. So what does that mean overall for the standardization tool is that we will start with the requirements that we need. So once we start the term, everything is super clear. So what we can do is that execution, maintaining, tracking, and also we can just like evaluate. And the next one is national sales team. Of course, I need 1 until 2 per person to be my team to help me in some of sales, because to boost the sales capacity, what I can do is that, because as I know that the NSC capacity and also the current condition in 17-18 is that not really went well. So even better if for the next year NST still be there, but the strategy that I will implement is that standard implementation, where weekly meeting is always there, monthly meeting, and also quarterly, where we evaluate in every job that we have, and also IGTS main product. So IGTS main product is actually only for me as pharmacy development, not for all of MC and AIESEC Australia, because as I know, like the numbers that we have right now in Australia is more into like OGV. That's the highest number in terms of IGT, because several LC also not implement IGT as the one and also champion partner. So IGT is only for me. So because previous term we don't have any focus strategy, which is we always innovate for what is actually the strategy we can implement. Like for example, for what will be the product that we can create, and then we can implement to the people. And also the next one is B2B marketing. So the next one is like we more into like giving, like explain and also telling what is happening in AIESEC, what we've done, like national conference activities and stuff like that, to network to the people and to the partners. So in the end, the partner will come to us rather than we come to the partners one by one. So I think, yeah, and also like as you know, like AIESEC has been established like 70 years ago.
Time is up. Thank you, Wiggy.
All right. Thank you very much.
Gina, you have 5 minutes to start. We'll start timing whenever you start talking or presenting your presentation.
I need to stop.
Okay.
Just to remind, the first knock means 3 minutes has passed. The second knock means 4 minutes has passed, and then I'll stop you at 5 minutes.
Okay. Can I start?
Yep.
Yeah. So this is my strategy presentation, and the first thought I want to say my main strategy is like a building on tweak, because I know in 17-18 there was a big and small changes, and I believe it is going right direction. So to see the result, there's still need a consistent investment and the time. So that means 18-19's focus is also should be based on the 17-18 strategy. So it is my main focus. But what I want to start with is the numbers. The one is 4069 and the other is 8. That means you guys are gonna go risk 4069 exchange numbers in OGV if you jump 1 tier. But on the other hand, the 8 is the number of firm membership essays in the end of the year that I want to see, because now just have a firm members we have. So for this, like in overall, my strategy is standardization competency goal and action plan, meanings providing members to standardize the competency skill examples and manage to develop them. Like personal goal that means personal goal should include not just exchange relevant, but also competency goal. The purpose of that is to nurture specialists in focused area or skills, and every member is able to contribute to LC goal and the national goal. So through this, I expect to increase talent capacity and really increase exchange goal, like literally leadership through exchanges. What I came this idea is I observed the difficulty in setting personal goal, and no, there's like no perfect satisfaction in leadership capacity for their leaders and themselves as well. So to increase this, I want to provide standard competency goal skill from the start, like public speaking, analytical thinking, creativity, negotiation, and etc. And all this also should provide the measurable MOS and KPI. So for example, if you want to promote public skills, the MOS should be exchange personal goal and increase the scale in personal analytics when you start, like in induction spaces and like that. And the key performance indicator should be number of sharing LCMs and the number of open space you join. But this is just my idea. I think this can be developed when we have more communication and discussion. So what talent management can approach is, and first we have a national goals in national levels as you see, but in after national goal setting, we have EV planning. So in this place, you guys downscale to the national goal and set the MOS and the structures and stuff like that. So what you can do with this one is develop, I can see, oh my, what you can do is, what do you have in the what kind of talent capacity do you really have in the function, and how can you develop? So in the aspect, you can get help from MC coaching and the summits and commission chat and stuff like that. And then when you go next to the recruitment, and I think recruitment question now you guys have are great, but what I want to propose to real more new press perspective, let's say when you compare with the last questions and these new questions, I want to tweak them as like what functions are you interested in, so you can choose what functions you are interested in. So for example, if you want to go to marketing, so there's would be the skills that relate to the marketing you want to increase. So I want to revise the question a little bit in this way, so you can get the what, and at the same time you can get the people analytics, like how much are you confident with the skills and stuff and like that. So at the end of the time, you can compare it with the same same form of people analytics, so you can really check how much you progress and how much you haven't grown for yourself as you feel. So in the process, like to implement this, they need standardize the team standard. I think this is what MCVP is doing and they should to keep. So ensure this to keep, learn and develop. There should be network touch point management like NFM and national functional meeting and EVM and FM and stuff like that of a course member education cycle, which is standardized. So
time is up. Thank you, Gina. Cool, amazing. So give me 1 second. How do I do this? Yeah, I'll share my so I'll share my screen again. Wait. Cool. So we're gonna move on straight into the strategy block questions. This will go for 35 minutes again, exactly how it was with the general block questions. You'll have 1 minute to think, 2 minutes to answer. I'll knock when 1 minute has passed, so that means you'll have 1 minute left, just to clarify again. So we'll go straight into it. So first question, if you had only one thing to focus on in your function during your term, what would it be? You have 1 minute to think, and Gina will start first. 1 minute is up. Gina, you have 2 minutes to answer.
Okay, so thank you. So my main focus in my area will be downscaling the organization development model. This is because I believe a true performance comes from our members' dedication and satisfaction. So to do this, the overall understanding of what this organization is going and aiming is really important for our members. So what I want to really focus is making standardized the member education cycle and the team standard, like a team standard, like a standardized the team standards, and making sure everyone is like creating the effective tracker that I can actually see everyone is following, and they are really agree with the over AIESEC values and what AIESEC Australia want to achieve and how they will achieve and stuff and like that. So for this, I think to managing the communication like a chat and having constant talk and the tracking will be really, really big important thing for me. Yes, so I think my main focus is to get the way how can I downscale the OD model to our members and deliver it, make sure LCPs and the LCVPs deliver this one as this downscale version as their way enough. So yeah, I think that was my main focus. Thank you.
Thank you. Wiki, you have 2 minutes to answer.
Alright, if I need to choose one, I will focus on standardization, because in standardization is also knowledge and also education will be there. Because what I want is that before we start the term, we already know, and then we already know what we are going to do, and then what we have, the resource that we have right now, documents, the tools, the strategy, and also how to implement it. So if I need to choose focus, the standardization will be there, because once I implement it, so the LCs and also me and also the NST and then also the people below me will be ready to execute. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. So next question is, what is your current understanding of the entities week's wildly important goals? So you have 1 minute to think. Sorry, this should be Wiki starts first. Okay, so this should be Wiki starts first. But you have 1 minute to think first, and then Wiki will start first. So 1 minute is up. Wiki, you have 2 minutes to answer.
Right, my current understanding in terms of what really important goals in AIESEC Australia is that how actually the membership, and also the membership that you have, the resource that you have right now, and also the audio model that you have also can implement to your audio model can implement to AIESEC Australia current condition right now. Because in the end, even in your country, even in our country as well, the things that we want to give is actually the numbers, because that's the impact that we want to create. But what I saw is that the audio model that you guys have is actually, I think, the audio model that implement for the membership for the members only. What should be there, and even better if for the next term, for audio module that we have is not only tiering for the LCs, but also for the members, and also for the numbers, and also the financial things. Because that's that can make the LCs sustain even though like the LCs have the small numbers. So for the next term, the suggestion will coming from the national level is actually we're talking about the financial things, the members that you guys have, how many members that it's suggestion how many members that you need to have in your LCs as well, and also how you can actually sustain internal financially and how you can maximize it and your financials and uh, uh, and in the end in your local level you still can achieve your LC ambition.
Cool. Thank you. So, Gina, you have 2 minutes to answer.
Thank you. As I know, the end of this week model is now week 2, which is aims that 60% of the members hitting 100% of their goals by 30% May 2018. So like the week 2 models pre covers a lot of stuff stuff in team standards in terms of reading by example, empowering others, and enabling achievement. But what you guys are really trying to progress is this one is even they have the checklist along this one is kind of administrative process rather than you can really feel that you can achieve and check by the sincerely feeling and achievement stuff and like that. So as I know you are really doing hard working to make this one as more effective and impactful. So but for implement or the week 2 model, what really you need is the performance management SOP and the setting goals and the standardization of goals that should be set and how to measure it and a one-to-one framework and implementation of the hub courses and the stuff like that. So yes, I think that's it.
Cool, thank you. So the next question is split. So for Wiki, it is, what is your current understanding of the health indicators in the OD model? What can be improved from it, or what would MC 1819 add differently to the index? For Gina, you mentioned growth takes time and needs consistent investments. Please give 3 examples of such investments and how they can be implemented in 1819. So you both have 1 minute to think. Gina will answer her question first.
One more minute and then we start. Another one here as well.
1 minute is up. So Gina, you have 2 minutes to answer.
Thank you. So there's 3 things. I think one is marketing, especially you guys divided the marketing development as one is focusing on physical marketing development, and the other is digital marketing development, and the second is OD model, and which is it used to be calculate the cluster by just dividing by the average, so they can measure the member the capacity and performance just who goes dividing the members numbers. So which one has the have a difficulty to see how members to see who really involved the improvement and the stuff and like that. And the third thing is, I think, international relations, which are really focused on 17, 18 as well. So when I started with marketing first, so as I said, it is divided into two, and they are huge focus in the digital marketing development, because it is true that digital marketing development is really important to extend the market expansions and to go achieve a more exchange and make strangers to visitors and the visitors as customers. So in that times, I think it is really working well, and this is what we should go on in 18, 19 times as well. And the OD models is, as I mentioned, it used to be just a cluster system, but it is changed as like considering the healthily improvement in our organization development, which includes like a talent capacity and finance. Also, talent capacity, finance, uh, also exchanges of courses. So,
Time is up. Thank you, Gina. So, Wiggy, you have 2 minutes to answer.
All right. So, okay. So, all right. What my current understanding of health indicators in OD model. So, what does that mean is that this is how the organization can called healthy by implementing OD models. So several indicators, for example, like exchange, self-capacity, and financial strength. So it's actually connected between exchange, self-capacity, and financial strength. Because how we actually can maximize the capacity in our talent that we have right now, in terms of members, there is that stakeholders that support us as well. That in the end we can achieve the exchange that we have. So in the end we can also we can sustain in terms of financial. We can strong in terms of financially. And what can be improved for the next term? What I also talked to several people as well in AIESEC Australia. What I think that what we can do for the next term for MC 18 and 19 is that more into use the research that we have right now. What we can improve is that how we can actually make it some of talents. We can also make a higher numbers in terms of access and make it strong in terms of talent. And also in the end, we can sustain in terms of financially. And then we can make a framework into how we actually can find how we actually can make it strong in terms of financially by breaking from it. So for me, for 18 and 19, there's no like a lot of information from that, but more into we can use resources that we have right now, but how we can actually maximize it. Thank you.
Thank you. So the next question, for Wiggy, what learnings will you bring forward from being MCVP PD in AIESEC in Indonesia for your term into AIESEC in Australia to increase our capacity for stronger partnerships? For Gina, you mentioned that the current health index in the current OD model does not include team standards fulfillment, percentage of members in conferences, and accountability index that would help for generating more membership. What do you mean by this, and why include the mentioned new indexes? So you have 1 minute to think, and then 2 minutes answer, starting with Wiggy.
Okay. Comment if you have anything else that you're excited about. I hope everyone has something they're excited about. Yay! Exciting. Right. Awesome. So my name is Patricia. For those who don't know me, I'm not sure if there's anyone here that I don't know, but if there is and I'm missing them, then nice to meet you. I am the National Director for Digital Marketing, so I work on the national team and on digital marketing strategy, and also supporting marketing and communication on operations.
And I'm in a similar sense.
So time is up, Wiggy. You have 2 minutes to answer.
All right. So what I learned from MCVP PDI in Indonesia is that I feels like perseverance, being persistent is one of the most important things as the culture that I have. So behavior is really need to be there as the salesperson, as the best business development person, as the pharmacy development person. Why I can say that? Because what I learned so far is that even though like you have good skills in, even though you have good skills in terms of sales, you have really good skills in terms of negotiate, you have really good in terms of public speaking, but if you don't have tools, for example, or maybe you don't have like the tracker for yourself, but if you don't have like capacity in terms of like following up, like the time that you can invest for that, it's really nothing. Why? Because like in sales, in person development, it doesn't matter like how good your background is, how good your culture is, how good your mindset is, how good the way you talk is, because that's in the end like you can learn by yourself. You can learn day by day, because you can learn in terms like because that's the capacity you actually will learn by day by day. So what I can implement for AIESEC Australia is that all of the sales flow is super connected. What I can do for the AIESEC Australia later on is that I'm not going to miss even one small things once I make the timeline. Because that's what I've learned where I was in the first quarter of my term in the first month. So I was like miss one lead, I didn't following up because I forget to put in a tracker. So what I learned from it that I can implement actually the timeline for the next year. There is no forget at all. So I put in my calendar, I put it in my timeline. So even though like I know like right now for sales things in AIESEC Australia, we still use sales navigator only, but sales tracker for myself
Time
is really
up.
nice and
Thank
also
you,
for the
Wiki.
assets. Thank you.
Gina, you have 2 minutes to answer. It starts now.
Okay. Yep, thank you. Well, the reason I mentioned this one is as I studied the organization development in AIESEC Australia goes like works as a system with axis like x-axis is organizational health and the y-axis is exchange performance. But in terms of organization health, I think it is really important to give right feedback on right time for the healthier improvement and the sustainability. But what has the problem in last year is I know there was the reason you like most of our members didn't fulfill the full membership is not because of their exchanges, it was because of their submission of the um, monthly report, like a financial monthly report and exchange report. So in terms of that, I think increasing accountability, their submission is really important to make it sustainable. So yes, so and the reason I mentioned the conference is I think a conference is a place that most of members get the motivation and recap what they have run. So in that part, participation is also the index of the represent the health of the organization. That's why I put the participation of the members conference as the index. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Cool, thank you. So the next question is for Wiggy. You mentioned in question 3 of your questionnaire, one of your strategies is to have more engagement and partnership with the government. What is your understanding on how engaged AIESEC Australia currently is with the Australian government? What ways have you planned for this strategy and how will this help increase the conversion rate for our outgoing exchange product? And for Gina, in your analysis of the building phase of TN in your platform, you mentioned the weakness to be the leadership pipeline within AIESEC in Australia. What are your tangible strategies you propose to tackle this? So you have 1 minute to. Gina, you have 2 minutes to answer.
Okay, so thank you. The reason I mentioned the weakness in AIESEC Australia is the reader's pipeline is that as I shared a lot of story from the other LCPs and now like 17, 18s AIESEC Australia AIESECers, they says they're one of the public is like a weaker leadership pipeline because they even have been in long year and have enough experience like 1 year and 2 year on AIESEC. They just sudden becomes LCPs, which is I mean, like if they are on the right track, they can implement and what they can achieve what they want. But to be honest, it takes a lot of time before they like when they really do implement like to I mean wrapping up like warming up kind of takes a lot of time to really start. So in the part like British pipeline is nothing that you can force to make them stay. I think this is you can push them like try like push them to stay. You can make them like want to stay. So for the strategy, I think that's why the achievement of a personal goal is really important, and having standardized the implementation and the team standards and the member education cycle is important because it complies the all of the concepts and the values and the action plan for that. So that's why I think it is important to strengthen the leadership pipeline in AIESEC Australia. Thank you.
Thank you. So Wiki, you have 2 minutes to answer.
All right. So my current understanding about government in Australia right now is that data related with AIESEC in Australia is that it's really a legal open ID in Australia because you guys like not really more into like marketing or even teaching, of course, obviously. But for IGTs, it's still okay for Australia because but especially for ITs. And what I mentioned is that how I strengthen with engagement and also partnership. So engagement, it doesn't mean like we need to it doesn't mean like we need to have like long-term partnership with the government like until 5 or 10 years. But engagement is more into like how we actually AIESEC in Australia can be recognized by the government first, and hopefully that we will be have a partnership with the government or even long-term partnership with the government. Because what also learns is that from the several countries, when I was part of PD7 in Amsterdam, I talked with several people. It's also the same case like how we actually can implement even in the same country in the country in Australia. What we can do is that B2B marketing way that we actually showcase our activities to government. Actually in our and kind of activities, even we don't in the government, but we can start from like the below position in the government. The comprehension rate of our audio and exchange product. As I mentioned before, for B2B marketing is one of the really important things how we actually can showcase the people that we have. This because right now what I want to do is that collaboration with the brand, also with the marketing people, how we actually can showcase the HR that we have right now to even to university. So in the end,
Thank you,
the awareness that we have is more increased. Thank you very much.
So the next questions, what are the tangible strategies that you want to implement to drive IGT as a source of revenue for Wiki? And for Gina, please explain how MC 1819 implements strategies for IR. So you have 1 minute to think. 1 minute is up. Wiki, you have 2 minutes to answer.
All right. So IGT as the source of revenue. The financial model in IGT, which is when we have open, that's the revenue that we, which means is that the tangible strategy that I'm going to implement for the next year is that I'm going to collaborate with IGT people, where PD people do sales and IGT people we do delivery. So once I get a partner, IGT people will taking care of the partners and will do delivery. So after we get a partner, and then after we get a partner, after we do sales, we get partner. I'm going to give the accountability to IGT people, the national level, or maybe in local level. So after that, we focusing to another partner. When we get the partner as well, we give to IGT and we find another partner first. And the second one is that choosing the right people for my national sales team, for sure. And the third one, is that not utilizing, but into like his sales capacity in BD commission in local level. So how we can moving forward together, not only the national team but also the BD commission. How the local level people they can have more ownership in terms of sales, so we can do sales together, not only the national level but also in local level. Where B2B marketing is also there for the local people, for the local entity as well in Australia. And also the next one is that sales capacity for sure in every quarter, where we evaluate the tracker that we have for BD commission and also for the national people, where we can improvement and what will be there for the next quarter. And then the last one is that come to the event for sure, but come to the event, come to the any kind of activities where I can say like the potential partner or the potential people there. So mouth-to-mouth marketing is really, I can say, is still useful, where we can meet that person and then we can share. And no, the last one is that actually we can utilize the current partner, so we can have a solution for it. Thank you very much.
Gina, you have 2 minutes to answer.
Thank you. So my IR strategy was proposed as IR product promotion and the customer experience segmentation and the piloting co-creation product. So first is IR product promotion means like we should focus on product rather than relationship, because most of us is having IR based on their like a personal relationship with other entity. But this might be good to have a short term result, but in long term it is not sustainable. So in that terms, I think we should like based on customer experience segmentations. Like it means we should have what kind of a products our customers are really interested in, what they are like, what is their real demand, what they want like achieve, and the value through the experience and stuff like that. So after refining the kind of a products meets their demand, and the should start to promote that product, aligning the operation week, with the timeline and when is the time, what is the process and the stuff and like that, rather than focused on the relationship and just letting it work on the relationship IR process. So, and the rest one, the piloting co-creation product is following the Maggie's application. She want to bring the kind of a digital innovation in Australia. So what I want to propose is there's some countries who's really good at innovative digital marketing, like for example, like Hong Kong and Singapore and the Korea, and some of the country in AIESEC, they are actually good at ICV. So making like a co-creation products which can like based on their IR and design their own like a digital marketing targeting, including digital marketing SDG, maybe 17 and stuff, and like that, create the product. Yeah. Yep. Thank
So
you.
this will be the last question. So Gina will start first. For Wiki, how will you find these NST people from within Australia to do PD, given generally limited applications for these roles? And for Gina, given the global direction of AIESEC 2020 and talent management, how do you see TM to continue to evolve in AIESEC in Australia in 1819? So you have 1 minute to think. 1 minute is up. Gina, you have 2 minutes to answer.
Thank you, Ivan. ISEC 2020 is like shaping what we do shaping what we do around the world, what we need, and being accessible anywhere and everywhere, and growing disruptively. I personally think TM is especially big charge of the first one, shaping what we do as around the world as what we think. In terms of that, to develop the ISEC 2020, I think marketing development has big charge in being accessible everywhere and anywhere. And I think the kind of a whole process which includes personal growth development with their competency, like a talent capacities, should be shown as growing disruptively. I mean, like especially in Australia, the big growth in the OGV. So I think TM's role is making sure they're on the same page, with exact and accurate and the standardized the tracker and the action plans. So I think a TM's role is aligning with the kind of the strategy in the every functions. TM should make sure and check how they are on the same page and how they are on working right now. So I think what is there that is TM's work and what are we trying to right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Iggy, you have 2 minutes to answer.
All right, so I'm going to find first the Australian people. If the case that, let's say there is no one Australian want to be like the national sales team. Like what I'm gonna do is that open application for international. Why? Because national sales team. The explanation, what is the meaning of NST is actually the national system. The people will help us, help help the MC or the national level to do their job faster and also smoothly, and then there's in every single details. So what I'm gonna do is that if there's like in case there's no one apply for NST, I'm going to open applicant for international people. So what will be their job to help me as an NST is that maybe they will taking care of like the B2B marketing. So for example, in sales flow, like I need to customize the proposal. So I'm going to put like every point in my last meeting. So I'm going to give it to them, and they are the one who actually will make the proposal for me. For sure, before it will be education first. And second one is that for the market research, the people will help me, for example, to find what is actually the specific things to what the company actually needs, what the company the current condition right now, what is ups and downs and stuff like that. So they will find it for me the information. So once I'm meeting, so I'm going to query that. So I'm not going to make it like the host because it will be a lot of companies there. So for sure, those people are the one who actually will feel my not my weakness, but the things that I'm not really that they actually can do. So I'm going to focus what I can do, what the things that I didn't not really 100% perfect. I will just give it to and break down on what the people that I need. And I'm going to open applicant for that. So there is a
time is up. Thank
you very much.
Okay, cool, amazing. So that was the last question that our candidates had to answer. So we're done. Amazing. Hopefully that wasn't too stressful for both of the candidates, and hopefully our LCPs were able to get a lot of insight from the Q&A. So first of all, thank you for showing interest, and thank you for showing the courage to actually apply to this entity in AIESEC in Australia. And a big thank you for turning up at this virtual Q&A to really show what are the sort of dreams and ambitions that you have for AIESEC in Australia in 1819. And I'm sure the LCPs would agree. So just for this last bit of closing, because we are a little behind schedule already, this is what the next steps will be for. The first one relates more to our LCP. So the vote of confidence after this, I will create the Google form. I will send it out to the NLT. Just a quick reminder that only the full members do have a right to vote. So make sure that you have the necessary conversations within the NLT. Talk with each other, discuss what you guys think about it, so that by Sunday you are able to submit that vote of confidence. For the candidates, on the 12th, it's not Sunday, sorry. On the 12th, which is the Monday, you'll receive by email the result of the confidence. And depending on that, if you get the confidence from the plenary, then you'll move forward to the group activity and also the panel interviews as well. So that's all from us today. Are there any questions from anyone? No questions? Okay, cool, amazing. So if there's no more questions, thank you everyone for your time. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you to the candidates. Thank you to the LCPs who joined. And we'll end it there. So have a good night. Thank you everyone for joining, and we'll see each other soon.
Thank